All right. So in the interest of time, while people are still jumping on and jumping in, why don't we get started? Because I want to be mindful of everybody's time here. And I just want to say thank you all for joining us on this Wednesday for what is the first of many town hall events that we want to do both online and in person. Thought this was a good way for me to introduce myself and just answer some of your questions if you have them, to hear what we have going on and what I've been doing in my first month here. So for those of you who I haven't had the chance to meet yet, I am Daniel Klim. I am your very proud President and CEO, and very grateful to be here. And this first month has flown by, and so just I want to be able to thank the board of directors for trusting me to lead this association and to really be a part of it, because it really is one of the premier industry associations that we have here in New Jersey. A little bit about my background is I've been representing different professions and associations for the last 25 years. I've been in different industries, different professions, but when it comes down to association management, it really comes down to about people, and that's really what you're representing. And I know we're a trade association representing bricks and mortar, but it goes much further than that, and it's the people that drive the success. So that's something that's a fundamental of mine that I try to make sure that I keep in mind anytime we're advocating on your behalf. So it's been a great month, and I've been driving around the state, having conversation with members. I've been having about
Unmute yourself, Daniel. Sorry. Just hit the mic at the top right.
Sorry about that. So, like I said, I've been driving around the state, meeting with members. I've been on Zooms and phone calls, and it's been my goal just to be able to listen, have conversations, get perspectives, and the different perspectives that everyone has to try to make the association successful. And it's great and refreshing to be able to hear different perspectives, because you can take all that information in and work with the staff and the board to be able to just move in a direction that hopefully tries to include all of those perspectives as well. Over the past month, I've been constantly meeting with the staff to build focus and direction for 2025 and beyond. I think we have some really fantastic opportunities to leverage this association and these industries in the next 2 years, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I just wanted to introduce the staff while they're here. You're going to hear from Amanda and Emily in a little bit, but I wanted to introduce Sarita Curry, who's our director of ServSafe, our member support, and Zadia Green, who I think she's in transit right now because she was coming out of a meeting. Zadia, obviously our ProStart manager, working with the foundation and getting ready for that competition next month. So over the past month, I've been setting up goals and looking at strategic initiatives. And one of the ones that I've tried to emphasize since I got here and beforehand was communication. I want to make sure that we're timely in our communications. I want to make sure that you as members have access to me to be able to answer your questions or give me your thoughts and insight. And so we've really tried to up some of our social media as we're building that plan. Build our communications. Every Monday morning at 9 a.m., you should be looking for what we've coined the Dish, which I think is bringing back that name, which is a comprehensive newsletter covering the organizational and industry issues. So if you haven't seen it, check your spam or your bulk mail, but get used to that coming out at 9 a.m. on every Monday. And we've all been working together as a staff to bring content and the different perspectives and issues. So, check for that. And please give me your thoughts. What do you want to see in a newsletter that's timely and that provides you with the information? The other thing that we've really been building on is our events. And that's what we want to make sure that we're having events in and around the state. And so next month we should hopefully have an events calendar that gives you some insight into what we're going to be doing between February and December. And I welcome any thoughts that you guys have for events. I have a little bit of an ask for you when I finish, but I want to make sure that we're engaging our vendor members, our members, and all of our different types of members to let us be a part of what you're doing and vice versa. So speaking of members, that's one of the things that we're focusing on right now is membership growth. I've been working with Emily. We've been building a membership plan. We've been able to bring several new members on in the past month, which is exciting, but also really building relationships. That's something I've always prided myself on is building relationships and making sure that people or your companies feel the value that we provide as an association, and that you're getting the benefit within your membership, be it through advocacy or being out in the community. And that's something that actually arose last week. We were at a networking event, and what you'll get to know about me is I'm always looking for creative ideas and new ways to do things. So we were at Emily, Amanda, and I. We were at a networking event last week, and it was actually a very good networking event. And most of the conversation turned to NJRHA. And so one of the questions, and I think he's here, I think he's on our call, came up and said, well, what are you doing about workforce development in New Jersey? And I said, that is a great question. And I encouraged him to get involved. And so we are looking at education and potentially building an education committee specific to New Jersey to serve your wants and needs. So that's one of the two committees that actually arose from one of these networking events that we're going to look to put together to look at specific what's happening to New Jersey. We get national information. We know we're working on a couple programs also through the foundation, but to really get together and get a group of individuals who want to talk about this. And you guys are the subject matter experts. You see this on a day-to-day basis. We're the facilitators to push that forward, but we need your help to be able to do it. And if you're interested in providing insight on the educational committee, please feel free to send me an email, drop your name in the chat. And, that's one of the things that we're going to be looking at in the near future is how we tackle that problem. The other thing that arose that has piqued people's interest, and this is another committee that we're looking at bringing forward, maybe it's a committee, maybe it's a task force, is innovation. How are we using AI? How are we doing things differently than we did before COVID? And so we want to be on the technical forefront. And when you get to know me, my goal is always being proactive. Let's figure it out. If we have something going on, let's see how we can tackle the issue. But let's use the people who are seeing it day to day to leverage their expertise. So those are two real big things that I'm looking at, are education and innovation. So I welcome any of you guys who are interested in maybe being involved and fleshing out what that looks like so that we can put a work product forward to support our members in the industry and the state. So, I'm open to collaboration. When you get to know me, I'm happy to come meet with you where you're at. Happy to have a Zoom call. Happy to just get on the phone or do a meeting like this. But I do have one favor to ask of you, and I did mention that we are building our event schedule. I'd like you to consider scheduling an event at your venue and bringing some of your friends to hear what we're doing throughout the year. It might be a town hall like this. It might be a panel discussion or a networking event, but it gives people the opportunity to hear what we're doing, because we're doing a lot of really good things. And I've come to notice that in the first month, we're just sitting with the staff and speaking with the board. We have a lot of great things going on. And so, and we're going to be using this building more as well. So you have a home to come to in Trenton if you ever want to do any events here. So please, reach out to us. Let's figure out creative ways that we can partner together, move these things forward, and give us a forum to be able to provide as much information that we can. So again, it is my sincere honor to be your president and CEO. I'm thankful to the board. I'm thankful for all of you for jumping on. And at this time, it is my privilege to introduce our chairman, Denise Bexon. Denise.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you to all of you for joining and taking time out of your busy schedules. We really appreciate it. It's an exciting time to be involved with the New Jersey Restaurant Hospitality Association. For those who don't know me, I am Vice President and Chief Administrative and External Affairs Officer at Maurice Piers. Maurice Piers is a hospitality company in Wildwood, New Jersey. We operate amusement piers, rides, water parks, restaurants, hotels, a golf course, and a realty office. So little potpourri there in the hospitality industry. I have past experience overseeing various operational departments, including our food and beverage operations at our 4 full-service restaurants and multiple quick-service counter locations. My main gig these days is human resources, people and culture, compliance and legal and external affairs, including working with our association relationships and government officials. My government relations work is what originally brought me to the New Jersey Restaurant Hospitality Association. I had primarily worked on federal issues with, say, the Bridge USA program, J-1 visas, very involved with protecting that program, and OSHA workplace issues, things like that on the federal level. But it became really clear that the state was moving itself to be on the forefront of legislation. I call it the fast and furious. And it got very active, and we realized quickly that we needed a good partner in state to focus on the issues that were impacting our operations and our employees. So we joined the NJRHA, and we haven't looked back since. So that's just a little bit about how we got involved, because some may say, why is it amusement park in our association? In addition to having the restaurants, many of the issues that we're dealing with impact, our types of businesses and hospitality. A little bit of a recap. This last year was a challenging one. Very, very active in Trenton. We had a major liquor license reform movement, and I'll let Amanda speak to that, but that was something that was really going to impact many of our members, and was a big push by the governor. So that was a challenge for us. We also found ourselves without a president and CEO in June. We engaged in a really extensive search, first by vetting and selecting a search firm, an executive search firm, and then by looking for the candidate. And we sourced over 340 candidates, screening nearly half of them. And we interviewed close to 50 and ended up with 6 semifinalists before unanimously selecting Daniel Klim. We beat the planned hiring timeline by about 3 weeks, and we were very pleased with the process and especially the outcome. We have full and complete confidence that Daniel is the right leader at the right time to move this association forward. So I want to welcome him again and share our enthusiasm to have him with us and leading us. As Daniel mentioned, we're expecting 2025 to be a year of growth for us. We plan to be aggressive with our messaging and as a result, grow membership in both facility and vendor members. We've consolidated our member sales function into one position as it was prior to 2021, and we have Emily leading the charge in that area. And we ask all of you to help us spread the word, to share potential leads with Emily, fellow restaurateurs or hoteliers, as well as vendors that you work with, so Emily can reach out, make contact, and share our member benefits. When speaking with a united voice, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And that's true for us. But the more members we have, help us to spread our reach and amplify our voice in volume and strength. So we definitely want to grow and make sure that we have a sizable chunk of the industry and state. We also need those members to be engaged. Those of you on this town hall are just that, engaged members, engaged in the association and the industry, understanding that individual commitment to a group effort is what leads to the greatest collective success. So I thank you again for being here and taking the time. We encourage you to be a cheerleader and to engage your fellow members and non-members. When you go out to dinner, ask the establishment if they're a member of the association. If not, mention that they should look into it. Maybe grab a card, shoot it to Emily. Had a great dinner here. They're not members, but they look like they would be great ones. When you're at a business community event, speak about your membership in RHA and why you value it. Look for opportunities to grow our tribe, so to speak. And also, in terms of one of our biggest member benefits, advocacy, we want to see people engaged in that area as well, whether it be in Trenton, attending committee hearings or regulatory meetings, or simply emailing and calling elected officials. Again, an amplified voice, many of us together have great collective power. We want to encourage folks to contribute in the Political Action Committee and to make a contribution. The New Jersey legislative body meets more than most any other state. In 2024, there were 90 days when there was either a full chamber session, a committee meeting, or a budget meeting. So 90 days and they're in office and they're in town and they're working on bills. So that means that we face more legislation than most of our counterparts across the nation. We need to share with our elected officials how their bills impact our businesses and our employees and their constituents. And it's important that they understand the intended, but more so the unintended consequences of their proposed actions. To impact public policy, contributions to campaigns help. They don't buy votes, but they certainly gain access. So having a strong PAC, you help to build a greater access across our state by joining forces with other donors to make more meaningful contributions to a greater number of legislators. One way to contribute to our PAC is to consider joining the Centurion Club. And I'm going to ask Amanda if you could send out to the folks on this call just information on the PAC in general and the different options. And then if you have any questions, certainly feel free to follow up with Amanda. We're going to be doing more advocacy events, but also, as Daniel mentioned, more events in general. And so we're going to do our part to make it even easier for you to talk about the NJRHA and to showcase the value of membership. As you hopefully noted, and as Daniel mentioned, we've already increased communications and messaging with our Monday weekly newsletter, The Dish. So you can expect to get that every Monday and get the up-to-date real-time goings-on in the industry. We're also going to increase events, as Daniel mentioned, town halls, kitchen tables, networking events. We're increasing our online opportunities, info sessions, educational webinars. If you have ideas or information that you would like to see presented, please reach out and let us know. I'm excited to remind everyone that our new counsel, Brent Pullman from Mandelbaum Barrett, will be doing an educational series on the third Thursday of each month. The topics are based on member feedback, so let us know what you want to see. Perhaps compliance information or best practices in onboarding and offboarding, or a refresher on wage and hour regulations. Sky's the limit. Anything that you think would be helpful to you is likely helpful to your colleagues in the industry. Our first session is going to be February 18th. And it is Hot Topics and Employment Law. So we look forward to kicking off with Brent and that topic. Speaking of education, as many of you know, we have an educational foundation that is its own nonprofit 501c3 entity. And we are pleased to continue to support our ProStart program through our education foundation. ProStart is our nationally recognized high school culinary arts and restaurant management program that prepares students either for further post-secondary education or for immediate entry into the hospitality industry. On February 25th, we're hosting our annual ProStart Invitational at the Grand Marquis in Old Bridge. To remind you, the event is kind of an intense Shark Tank meets Chopped competition, fast-paced, fun, really good time for the students and those that attend as volunteers. We are still looking for volunteers to work as judges. Judges need to be available from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you or anyone you know is available, please reach out to Sadea and or anyone from NJRHA, and we can pass you off to her so we can try to shore up our judging staff for this event. So I just want to conclude by saying that the The brand and reputation is a very strong and very solid one. The culinary schools know us. Our elected officials in Trenton know us. We work well with our national association and both the Restaurant Association and the Hotel and Lodging Association. Our sister associations in state know of us. We have great penetration and great reputation. We're a player in Trenton. We provide value to our members, and we're excited to grow our offerings, our membership, and our influence. While 2024 was a challenging year, the staff was amazing. They were steadfast, dedicated, and committed to our success. And I want to personally thank them for that, and personally thank Amanda Stone Malado for her work as interim president and helping to ensure that we kept the wheels on the bus. The whole staff was patient with us through the process, and the executive committee really appreciates the grace that they gave us and the dedication and commitment. I also want to thank the 2024 Executive Committee, Bhavish Patel, Bob Wagner, Mike Perro, and Anthony Bucco for their tireless work on behalf of the association. And special thanks to past chairs, Craig Kenish and Jeannie Cretella, who stepped in and stepped up to provide assistance and support. Overall, these groups took on the assignments, the day-to-day operations. It gave guidance and support to the staff, and I thank them. I've said to them, but I want to say publicly, I can't think of a better group to work with. All positive energy, no egos, a love for the industry, and a passion for the association. We're excited to have Daniel on board and to coalesce our efforts and our work towards our collective goals that advance the industry, the state, the association, and our businesses and employees. And I finally just want to say I'm so honored and humbled to be your chair. So thank you.
Thanks, Denise. Really appreciate it. And you'll hear me, by the way, as you get to know me, the importance of the Political Action Committee, the PAC. That money, those we can't use membership dues. They can't be commingled. So we have to raise separate dollars for political action purposes. And that's what gives us access to be able to tell our story to legislators. And if I break it down, we've got 120 legislators, 80 in the Assembly and 40 in the Senate. Maybe some of you have heard me say this already, but it's an important point, is that there is no one in your industry that is represented in the state legislature, but they're the ones who make decisions on your behalf. So that's why it's important that they're educated, that they understand the importance of political action and advocacy, and that we have the access to tell them our story so that we can have them vote on our issues in our favor. So with that, I'm going to use that segue to hand it over to Amanda to give you a government affairs update.
Thank you. And after that, following both of you, I mean, I always joke about the doom and gloom department over here. So I'll try and keep it positive. But as Denise said, we have an incredibly active state legislature. And every time we talk to our counterparts across the nation, I am very jealous that they don't get to see their legislators as much as we do. But at the end of the day, we're doing a good job in making sure that they're aware of what's going on, not only when an issue comes up, but we're in constant communication with legislators throughout the state, just keeping in touch and just keeping them aware of what's been going on. We don't always want to play defense. We want to make sure that they don't introduce any bills that could hurt us. And if they do, or there's bills out there, obviously we try to we talk to them and explain how it's going to impact our industry. With that being said, I'll start with the win that we had, which is the liquor license battle, if you will. It seems a little bit like forever ago, but it was just only a year ago where the governor signed a bill that was dramatically different from what was introduced about exactly a year prior to that. And for those who don't know, essentially the governor had announced at his State of the State that he wanted to have essentially in 5 years free liquor licenses or incredibly cheap liquor licenses. And as many of you probably experienced or heard from, your colleagues, license deals were going by the wayside. Everyone was like, what's going on? Are they going to be free in a few years? I don't want to pay now. And obviously no one likes that it's, they're expensive. However, as you all, I'm sure, are aware, that's the system that the state has. And what we wanted to do was just maintain fair market value. So it took about a year and change of meeting with the administration, meeting with legislators, working with a coalition as well of groups that were concerned about this. And after a year, and I'm summarizing it, but it was a long year of meetings and trying to show the administration the damage that this could do. What was signed at the end of the day was a watered down version, is putting it nicely, but basically a very watered down version, and it maintains the fair market value, which is the biggest thing we could have asked for. And from that legislation, most recently, part of it that was enacted in August was the inactive license transfer. So instead of just transferring an inactive license within a town, it can now be to a contiguous town. We were pushing to get these inactive licenses back into the market instead of the creation of new licenses. The way the regs were written, it's incredibly complicated. I've been talking to a couple of you on this call right now about the logistics of it, but at the end of the day, we wanted to push the inactive licenses, and overall, it was a very, very big win for us. From where we started to what we got the governor to sign, it was a great battle, and it wasn't just us. The legislators needed to hear from you guys, and many of you did take these meetings with us, and the senior staff over there, they really needed to hear how it personally impacts your livelihood. So that's the big win we're coming off, but there's plenty of other bills out there that you might not hear about in the news, but there's so much going on in Trenton. It's hard for, us to keep up, and we're following it. And, you guys are way busy in your own 9-to-5s, or, pretty much whatever shifts you're doing. It's all day, every day. But that's what we're here for, is just to be that watchdog. And when things come up and we're going to need your help, whether it's reaching out to legislators in your town, call to action, that's really, whatever help you can do would be great, but we'll always keep you up to date on when you need to know something, if something's coming up. But, obviously there's also the other issues that are ongoing, surcharge fee legislation, the tip wage, credit card fees, obviously the minimum wage going up, the, other states trying to eliminate the tip credit, the so-called gas ban that they wanted to do, Credit Card Competition Act. There's so many things that are going on that aren't immediate, but, we're obviously preparing and making sure that what we see in other states, especially California, Oregon, Washington, New York, when they come here, we're prepared. So we work with our counterparts at the National Association, and I'm not going to get into every little bill, but I think what we're going to be seeing, coming up the rest of this cycle is a lot of environmental bills, and a lot probably surrounding credit card and surcharge fees. So that's what we're looking at right now, but we will see what the governor's budget address brings to the state in a couple of weeks and what they come up with. And I look forward to getting to summer recess and for them to have a nice long summer and come back after the election. So that is my part.
Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, you can put them in the chat. We can answer them after we're done the presentations. But also, it's important. And I'm sorry. Did you mention that we're going to have all 80 seats of the assembly up for election in November?
Yes. All the assembly.
Yep. So our PAC dollars are going to be important this year, especially when we want to make sure that we're gaining access. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. We're going to turn it over to Emily right now. And one of the things we talked about, or like I talked about earlier, is leveraging your membership and being able to update your information in real time. And so Emily's going to share her screen and just take you through how you can access your membership online and update any information you want at any time. So take it away, Emily.
Great, thank you. And good afternoon to everyone. Thanks for attending. Part of our mission on digitally is to really promote all the businesses, both vendors and hospitality members, and also create more of a community. And so I'm going to just show a couple ways for you to do that and to take advantage of being a member and having, being able to promote your business online. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And if you can just confirm, Daniel, that you can see my screen.
Homepage of the website's up right now. I can see it.
Homepage. Okay, great. So everybody has an account. Everyone with a membership with us has an email associated with that membership account. So if you've never logged in before, I just want to start basics here. Chances are your email is already linked to an existing account, whether you've logged in or not. So I'm going to say that up front because when you come in, this is our homepage, njrha.org. When you go to log in, if you've never done it before, chances are when you input your email, it's going to match you with your account. And if that's the case, you should go ahead. If it looks like it's the right business, you should go ahead and click that account. It's not somebody else. It's likely that we already have your email in the system, and all you have to do is enter a new password. So I would start that. Chances are if you're on this call, you're either the primary contact or you're associated with the account. So you should be able to go in, input your email, and then create a new password. Another way to get here is to also save Member Compass. So njrha.org/Member Compass. And that's another way to enter as well. So I'll just go ahead and show our profile. You can opt into the 2-factor authentication or not, depending. And this will take you to your Member Compass. So you can see it's still our homepage with the same tabs, but you can see this is my Member Compass in the corner. So you can always return to your Member Compass by clicking here at the top right. So now that I'm in, this is my dashboard. It has some great information. Obviously, we've been members longer than 2024, but it'll show your member since date. It'll show when your dues are expected to renew. It will also show that I registered for today's event. I can look at all of my events. I can register for events through here. I can look up what's upcoming as well. So that's the dashboard. I also want to note that we're going to have some more members only webinars. Denise mentioned it before, the legal webinars by Mandelbaum and Barrett. Those are going to be a member only, and they should show up here under webinars, and you will have to log in order to view those. You will need to be a current member and log in. So that's an additional benefit. Here, you can see if you have any outstanding dues. We're all paid up here. You can view your account history. So, if you paid in the past, we have all of that saved here where you're able to view it and even print your invoices and receipts. So that's really important. I did the events. This is your personal profile. Every account needs a personal profile linked to the company. So in here, really just pay attention to these 2 fields. It's your email. This is where you can enter your Gmail if you prefer. This is for us to reach out to you. Nobody else. It's not publicly facing. It's simply for our organization to get in touch with you. So you can keep your work email here, your work phone, but it's also, again, it won't be publicly shared if you put your Gmail. And I wouldn't worry about anything else in there. Again, it's just so that we can contact you. If you need to change your password, here's how you would do it. if you need to update your password. Here's a payment. You can save payments on your account. That way, if you want to auto pay your membership so it never lapses, you can turn that on. You can also, you would have to add a new payment in here, which can be a credit or debit card, but it can also be an ACH if you want it to come right out of a bank account. So if that information's in there, you can go ahead and click the auto pay membership, and then you would select whatever payment you added. So then you don't have to worry about keeping up with invoices or membership dues. I'm going to skip over company for a second and just go to people. So this is another great tool where if you have management access to the account, you're able to add people. You know, if I want somebody else to be able to access this account, I will say this should be management level, owners, people, again, that can see account history, can make a payment. People that can edit the account is who you want on here, not all of your employees, nothing like that. You want to put the people that are making changes to the account. So I can see here, if our new president, Daniel Klim, he doesn't work out, you know what, I can remove him right here. You can give him management access.
Too soon, Emily, too soon.
You can add people, you can remove people that have that are no longer with the company. I can give him management access so that he can do this same thing that I'm doing. So that's for people. And then the most important tab here that I'd like to focus on is the company. So you're capable to edit everything in here except for the company name. If you need to do that, you can reach out directly to me, or you can click that button. But this is publicly displayed. And right now, it's just our vendor directory, which I'll show you in a second, that is displayed. We want to do this for all of our hospitality members. We want to promote them. And so I just, be cautious about what's in here. This is where your info email should be. This should be, your generic email, our main phone line, our main website. If you have a different billing address, this won't show up at the shipping address, your physical location. This will show up on the directory where they can go find you. If you have a different billing address, you can fill that in. They won't see it. For our vendor members, make sure you're selecting a primary category. If you don't see a category that fits your business, let me know and I'll add it into here. So this way people can search, and I'll show you that in a minute too. Make sure all your marketing is in here as well. Easy clicks that they can find your profiles. And real quick, I'm just going to upload a logo here. You just click that button. It really should allow pretty much any PNG, JPEG, or PDF. And to adjust this, you just use this bar below. So I just wanted to show that because I think visually it'll be very appealing in the directory. So then you just click set crop, and there it is. So there's your logo, organization overview. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to just show you how it looks. So here's our vendor member directory. So in this tab, we will be putting hospitality member directory. Let's hope that's saved. And then you can search here. You can search by going through these as well, but just to see how it looks from the front. So now our logo's here. We can view the profile. All that information that I input on the back end is here, as well as it links to our social. So you can see like our more recent posts. You can also see who works here. So we each in our personal profile had uploaded our own headshots. And that's definitely a great value for our vendor members. That way they know who they're speaking with. And I'll also just give a quick shout out here. So again, if you type in insurance, if somebody's looking for insurance, here's our insurance partners here. New Century Benefits, been part of the association for a while. McLean Agency, look, he's got all his LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. They can see all this information. And thanks, Joel, for always, sharing our messages with your community as well. We definitely appreciate that. And then you can see he also put his headshot on. So really appreciate that. He took full advantage of the member directory. So I hope that wasn't too much. I just wanted to kind of give the overview of taking advantage of this and what you can see in your member compass. And when we do send those webinars out, you'll be able to find them under blog, but we're also going to link every time it comes out. So you'll be able to log in right to your member compass and you'll be able to see it there. So hopefully that wasn't too much, but just want you to all take advantage of promoting your profiles.
No, that was great, Emily. Thank you. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to Emily. We want to be able to get as much of your information on our website as possible so that when people come to our website, they know where to go from there. I'm going to open it up to questions right now. Like I said, if you have any questions, I know some of them started, putting them in the chat. Please do. And I will tell you that, Denise said it too, and I feel like it's a really exciting time. And I think we have some amazing opportunities, and some of the things that we're building towards right now, and some of my goals are in 2026. We have a fantastic, I think we have a fantastic lead up to two really big events that are going to be right here in New Jersey next year. The first being the World Cup. Right? And that World Cup is going to benefit our industry significantly. In fact, we will be on a call with some of the leadership of the New York, New Jersey World Cup next week. But let's not forget, the World Cup is also in Philadelphia, and our South Jersey partners are going to benefit as well. And so we are in a very unique position as a state to be between two host sites, and I believe the final is at MetLife Stadium as well. So those are really going to be at the forefront for us to leverage our members, to recruit new members, and to make sure that we are able to utilize facilities and members that we have for World Cup events. And the second one also that we don't want to forget about is the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. That's another big one. And when the governor was speaking in November at a press conference unveiling this with groups like Crossroads of the American Revolution and some of the hospitality and tourism departments in the state, he referred to the unique culinary designs of New Jersey. And so right there's another huge opportunity for us, our members, and to showcase to the world what we have here in little old New Jersey. So I welcome any ideas that you guys have as ways to get involved, or ideas that we have that we can leverage what it is we're doing as an association to promote our members better. Any questions coming through? Amanda, I know we had one that came through about the trip to Washington. Do you want to respond to that one?
Yeah, absolutely. And Emily, I'm sure we're going to do a follow-up email, so I'll include it in there too. But I did want to say that April 1st to the 3rd, we will be heading down to GC for our annual public affairs conference that's hosted by the National Restaurant Association. It's a really, really great conference. There's no fat to it. It is straight to the point. They have great speakers every time. You get to meet with, our counterparts from all over the country. And on the last day there, we have our Hill meetings. So we meet with the entire delegation usually. If not them, then their staff. And it's just a really good time to go down and remind our congressional and senators that we are here and we are watching what they do, and that they should definitely support the Credit Card Competition Act. And it's a good time. It's really, it's fun. A group that goes down and we have a nice dinner, and it's good. It's good to network, and it's very informative. So, and like I said, they have great speakers every year. State Capitol, we have we're going to bring back our advocacy day. It's usually in June for the state legislature. We try to find a day where they're all going to be in session. It's a little hard to plan out far just because they don't release their calendar until about 2 months probably before we usually schedule. So we'll definitely keep you aware of that. But it's usually in June, and we'll have everyone to the Hospitality House, our office here in Trenton. And then we will go and meet with legislators across the street and try and pair you with a legislator in your district and discuss whatever the issues are at the moment with them, and try to meet with as many as we can. And if anyone ever wants to come out to a session day here, whether there's a bill up or not, we'd be happy to, walk you through it, bring you over to the State House, show you around, introduce you to your legislators, whatever you'd like. So don't hesitate to ask.
Amanda, the State House trip with the association group, it would be in June, either a Monday or Thursday, correct? That's the days they're in town.
Yeah, it's always Monday, Thursday during their budget season. It's other weird, wacky days, but Monday and Thursday would be one of the days that we would pick to go. And usually we start here around 8:30, like breakfast, have a little speaker portion, and then we'll head over to the State House, and everyone can be in their cars on the way home. I would say, you can, stay as long as you want or leave, but I would say by like 2-3 o'clock, you could be on your way out if you need to be.
Great, thank you. And then Pam, thank you for the comment about Mercer County. If anybody can't see it, Mercer County has a 250th celebration plan underway with a passport program for local destinations. So if you know of any of these programs that are happening in your area, and you can share them with us, and there's an opportunity for us to be able to support those or promote them, please let us know.
And if I can just say one more thing. I've talked to many of you, and I always, if you have a question, I always start with, I'm not a lawyer. That's Brent's job. But if you ever have any questions about, it doesn't have to be about a specific bill or legislation. I answer questions all the time about regulations, current law, DOL requirements, the laws around credit card surcharge fees. So, don't be afraid to call and ask. If you have friends, use us as a resource and as a one-stop shop. If we can't get you an answer, we'll direct you to someone who can. So that's my last. So.
Absolutely. Well, seeing as there's no more questions, we'll give you 7 minutes back in the hour. Really want to say thank you for you guys for your time and for getting to meet me virtually. Like I said, happy to travel the state and come meet with any of you, or you're always welcome here in Trenton. Denise, thank you for your leadership. Certainly appreciate your remarks, and to the staff, thank you, and hope to see you all real soon. So have a great afternoon, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye now.